Hello there, everybody. It's a warm, kind of almost muggy day here in Danville, Kentucky, and I thought I'd just come out to my little private spot that's about a half a block from my office space. That's a space that I like to come to and sit at and hang out with. Anyway, I'm always here to share things that have helped make my life better, and I've been reading some things on Facebook that just sparked some memories for me. That was probably a couple years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, maybe less, I don't know. Anyway, I went through a period where at that time in my life there was a tremendous amount of emotional, I guess I'd call it emotional backlog, where for so many years I'd been stuffing down my emotions and not allowing them to come out. And, you probably heard the societal teachings, boys don't cry, or how many times have you seen a friend start to cry and then they start to apologize. Oh, I'm sorry for crying. And so there's this thing in our culture where it's not okay to let your emotions out, except maybe men, it's like somehow socially acceptable to be angry, or maybe it's a little more appropriate for women to cry, but just in general there's a stigmatism around emotion. And so I want to tell you that time that I spent letting out that emotion, and it went for a period of time, and there was a time where I was like, oh God, am I going to be crying forever? They talk about opening the floodgates. Well, I opened up the floodgates, and I spent that time allowing my emotions to flow. I gave myself not only permission to allow my emotions to flow, but I also gave myself the appropriate time and space. So whether that was in the evening, at night, where I wasn't just like wandering around. Well, I was a little bit bawling my eyes out, but there was also a lot of private time that I took, or time with very close friends or elders, to allow those emotions to flow. And that's a huge, important part of any healing journey, is to, when the emotion arises, to let it out. And there's those times where there's maybe that bigger healing of an emotional backlog that's being released. But then there's also times just in our everyday life, like there's times where I've got a bunch of emotion going on inside of me still, and I just let myself cry and let it out. And when I do, I always feel better. And one of the things that I've found, because I talk about, having gratitude a lot, or changing your thinking, dang near impossible to have gratitude and changing your thinking if you don't allow that emotion to flow out of you. And so my encouragement to you today is to give yourself permission and the time and the space to let your emotions flow, to let them come out in whatever way they look, because whatever way it is fine. And know that even though it might be scary, or you're wondering how long will it last or whatever, just let it flow. It'll end. It's just like any river. It flows, and it'll come to its destination at a certain point. So anyway, my hope is that this helps you. My real hope is that you apply this and allow yourself the permission, or give yourself the permission, to let your emotions flow. And that it's a wonderful day even if you're bawling your eyes out. So take care. Bye.